Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I wanted to take this time to make a video and update you guys on where we are in hiring help for our family. As you guys know from my previous video, I started the process to try to hire an au pair. We signed up with an agency. This is not an easy process. It takes a long time to be able to interview candidates, get to know them, they get to know us, and see if they are a match. After a couple of interviews, we did find a candidate that we really liked and felt she would have been great for our family. However, after we made the job offer to her, we noticed that the following day she had not accepted the job offer. So I scheduled a call with her and she came back and said that she wanted to ask for extra benefits. I thought that was fair. I agree to give her the benefits that she was asking for. Some of the benefits were like paying her cell phone bill or giving her a certain allowance for groceries. So I agreed to all of her benefits requests. However, the following day, she still had not accepted the offer. At that time, we scheduled a call with the agency, the au pair, and my husband and I. And then she expressed that she wanted a schedule flexibility. At the time, the schedule that I had in mind was for the au pair to work Monday through Friday, since that is when I need the most help. I do it by myself as of right now. During the weekends, I will give the weekends off to her since I get to have help from family and friends who still come around and give us a hand. However, this au pair wanted the weekends off. She also wanted to leave early during the week, around 5 p.m. And I'm going to be very honest, I didn't take that well. I felt like I was being fair by giving her the weekends off, but I could not let her leave early when 5 o'clock is when it's most chaotic in our house, because that's when we start bedtime routine. And so therefore, I decided to retract the job offer, just not consider pursuing her any longer. And so that was very difficult, but I felt like that was the best. So we started the process all over again with having to interview new candidates. And after an extensive time meeting with different au pairs, there was two that I really liked. One specifically that I just had this gut feeling she was our girl. I mean, just when I got off the phone with her, I was like, I found the perfect au pair for us. I was so excited. I immediately was like, I want my husband to interview her. And he interviewed with her the following day. And unfortunately, her English was not good. And I am not talking like, au pairs because they're coming from out of the country. Their English is not going to be the best, but just simple basic things. Like he asked, "How are you?" And she responded with, "I am 22 years old." So I told Darius, like, maybe ask a little slower. He asked again, how old are you? And she responded with, "I study X, Y, and Z, and I like children because of this." And so that's when I realized, like, oh, like, we don't even have our basics yet. And so that crushed me because for Darius, that was one of the important factors where he wanted someone who could at least defend themselves. His biggest fear is that the au pair will be dependent on me, and then that will put a lot of responsibility to have to be, translating between the au pair and him. But I just felt like that was my girl. So I had my parents interview her and a few other candidates, and my parents also agreed, like, this is your girl. But because she didn't speak good English, I just kind of like, we had to tell her, hey, we can consider you. And after I said that, every night I kept thinking of this girl. I was like, here we are having to start the process all over again. I just feel like this is our girl. I have this gut feeling. I kept praying about it, and I'm like, this is the girl that will be for our family. And then I met with her and I said, hey, listen, I'm going to be very honest. I've been interviewing on other candidates, but I still feel like you're the right candidate for us. And so I want to give it a few days and think about it and talk to my husband and see if we can compromise. Even though the English is not there, I still wish to welcome you into our family. And she agreed. She's like, I love you guys. I think we will be perfect. And so once I had that conversation with her, I told her that I was still interviewing other candidates, and that maybe she could still keep practicing her English. And I'm going to try not to get emotional. But this is where I have to take accountability and acknowledge my wrongs, because I said that to her, and in my mind, I took her for granted and thinking she doesn't speak very good English. Therefore, it's going to be hard for her to find a family. In the meantime, while I'm still interviewing other candidates to see if I get lucky and find somebody who's as good as her and speaks English, if that makes sense. And then I kept interviewing, and just there was nothing that came close to this girl. So I messaged her and I said, hey, it's time. I was like, I'm ready to move forward with you. Like, you are the right person for us. And I will even include this for all of you guys who follow me on TikTok. You guys played a big part into this, because I was doing my lives, and every time I would talk about her, you guys would say like, hey, I think you got to compromise on the fact that she doesn't speak English, because you seem so happy when you talk about her, and you seem so excited when you talk about her, as in like you can picture yourself with her being part of your family. And I would read all of you guys' comments, and I'm like, you guys are right. Like, this is the girl. And I sat on it, guys, because I sent her the message and said, I'm ready to move forward. Also, she can inform me that she had matched just one day before. And it sucks. Like, I've been beating myself up about it. I'm so frustrated and upset. Because I need the help. I'm at that point where I'm like acknowledging that I need the help. And if you would have asked me, I thought that by now I would have had an au pair here. I feel like I'm burning myself out with so many appointments, doctor's appointments, physical therapy, social media. Like, it's a lot on my shoulders. And so I'm very disappointed that someone who would have been perfect for us, I took her for granted, and now another family gets her. And so I understand that I'm sure there's going to be someone else out there that will be great for our family, but this has been such a long process. Now I have to start the process all over again. And again, because I have been interviewing for so long, and even when I interview, it's hard to find someone who's hard worker, dedicated. And this girl just had a passion. I could just tell, like, she was going to be that person who was going to wake up in the mornings and be like, how do I alleviate some of the burden that Raquel goes through every day? Like, that was her energy of like, that girl's going to make it places. Mark my words. That girl's going to make it places. And she just reminded me of like a younger me wanting to hustle and work hard. And it sucks that I took someone for granted. And so I feel like it's been affecting me a lot. But this is where we are. This is the update. Please continue to pray for us, that the right person gets put in our path, because it's a hard decision. I don't just want to bring anybody into our home. I want someone who's going to share the same values and interests with me and my kids. And so I am praying the right person will eventually come, and I will not be making the same mistakes I've made so far. But I think it's important to acknowledge that it's on me. It's my husband also admits, like, hey, you know, the language barrier would be something that we will work on once they get here. Let's not make it such a priority to begin with, because at the end of the day, we have 5 kids. And so I understand that it goes both ways. And so it's not only me wanting that person to be right for me and my family, I need to make sure our family is right for that au pair as well. And so I want to make sure that process eventually comes to light and happens soon rather than later, because I'm tired, guys. I am honestly, genuinely tired, and I don't like to get vulnerable, but this is me being vulnerable and admitting that I feel like this is getting harder. And every time I talk to other quad moms, everyone says it gets easier, and I think it's getting harder for me. Anyways, so that is our update. Like I said, please continue to pray for us, and we look forward to eventually making a video where I can just announce we have found the person And man, I'm gonna do that when they're like on the plane to come here to America, because this has been in the works for months. And it just feels like eternity, and it still feels like I am so far away despite how long we've come. But thank you guys for continuing to watch and stay with our journey. And probably our next video is going to be about sleep training, because who knows when we will find an au pair. But we are still in the search, so please pray for us. Thank you for watching and supporting our channels. Love you guys.